Sorry. Language justice is a shared responsibility, just like disability access. Everyone must select a language like you just did. When you accidentally get bumped out of a call, you will need to click the language again just to enable that feature. And we have been asked to please state your name every time before you speak so that the interpreters know who is talking. And some tips for all of us to keep in mind is to please speak slowly and clearly. Think about key points you want to make and keep it brief so you can take your time. Please don't use acronyms or jargon because these are hard to interpret. And even if you might know more than one language, please stick to the language that you selected for the Zoom call. Next, we're going to move into our land acknowledgement section. The practice of land acknowledgement is to offer a way to deeply engage and disrupt colonialism as an active process and instead reflect on space, place, history, positionality with an intention of centering nativeness. So I will send this link out at the end of the week in a language in our guide, but you can also visit native nativ dash land land.ca to actually see a database to understand which native lands you occupy by putting in an address. But for context, if you are located on San Francisco, you are located on Ramaytush Ohlone territory. If you are joining us from the East Bay, that may be Chechenyo Ohlone, Lisjan territory as well. And so I want to offer land acknowledgement to all of you and practice this amongst yourselves. So if you would like to share either in the chat or out loud what lands you are joining us from, please do that now.
I can share. My name is Regina Lynn, and I am on occupied and stolen Chochinyo and Ohlone land. Also in the chat, Maria Torre says that they are on Ohlone land. Carol Crook says that they are on Chochinyo, Ohlone land in Oakland. Ellen is on Ohlone land in San Francisco. Thank you all for really highlighting the chat.
Thank you for reading them, Regina. And the last item on this slide is a offering to pay Shumi land tax. The Sogoreate Land Trust is a collective of Native women from San Francisco East Bay area. And they, in order to sustain their work, ask for settlers to pay a Shumi land tax. And that's also linked in this presentation, and I'll be sure to send it out at the end of the week as well, in case you have funds that you'd like to donate. Okay, and so with that, we'll move on to our community guidelines. These were set at the beginning of class, and so I will go through and read them really quickly. No bigotry, hate, or slander will be tolerated. Assume positive intent.
Wow, Mr. Coffee.
All truth is truth.
Wow.
Take space, make space. Vegas rule, which is what is said here stays here, but what is learned here leaves here. Each one, reach one, teach one. Ask permission to inquire after a share. Practice self and community care. One mic, one voice. So please try to keep yourself muted unless you are speaking. Correct with care. Don't assume knowledge. If you use academic jargon, please explain the terms. appreciate culture through community. And I will pause to see if there's any more that folks would like to add. Okay, and so with that, thank you everybody for participating. And now we're gonna move back into our check-in question. And I just wanted to ask, what is bringing joy to you this week? And so I will stop my screen share so that we can answer that question. I can go first. So what's bringing me joy is that a few days ago, I decided to go to a farmer's market so that I could get pumpkins to bake pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving. And basically they told me that they were out of sugar pumpkins when I went to the farmer's market, but one person decided to go check in the back and brought out a bunch of these mini sugar pumpkins and told me I could have the whole crate for free. And so now I got free pumpkins that I can make pumpkin pie with.
I can go. Where's my pumpkin pie at, Bisma? What's bringing me joy right now is to see how committed everyone is to this course and showing up and showing so much capacity for creativity and resilience and learning new skills. I'm really happy today. It's good to see everybody.
Hi, Maya. Thanks for joining. For context, we're going around and sharing what's bringing us joy this week. And Maria or Lupita, I see your hands up if you want to share.
Yes, I want to share that my friend that she got a stroke like 2 weeks ago. She's doing great. She started with therapy. I went to visit her today, even though I didn't feel very good, but I had to see her. And now she is responsive and she started, walking. She's just very weak, but seeing was a major stroke. She couldn't, because she's 81, she couldn't even have surgery because of her age and the blood pressure. So she's in a nursing home in Berkeley. That's why I'm late, I'm sorry, but that makes me happy. Definitely, I feel so hopeful for her. And that's a very good point. This for me is great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Lupita. I see the smile on your face. Would you like to pick on someone else to go? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It says Maureen Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. What brings me joy this week is it's nice to have this class, and it's nice to see. Can you hear me? Okay, nice to see everybody. I have two, I guess you call them grandnephews, my nieces, two little boys, and I usually take care of them on Tuesdays, and they are such a joy in my life. It's just so much fun to have. One is 2.5 and one is 1 year old, and they are just a delight. And I'm so happy to have them in my life and her family.
Thank you for sharing with us, Maureen. That's so beautiful. And Maya, I see your hands up, and Carol, so maybe we'll go in that order.
Are they muted?
Yeah, I think Maya may have stepped away temporarily. How about Carol? Do you want to go first?
Okay, I have a cat. She's 13 years old, but she's new to me, and I've had her for almost a month now. and we are so happy. Both of us.
What's your cat's name? I love cats.
Keiko.
What's the name?
Keiko.
Keiko. Oh,
Oh,
that's so sweet. Thank you for sharing, Carol. Maya, would you like to go?
I would. I just asked my bestie, who's just put her lipstick on. So I'm really happy because of one of my most beloved family in the world is staying with me until the 18th. Woo! And we're having a lot of fun. So she said I can introduce you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kali Hashiki.
And she's looking fabulous and just put her lipstick on and her gorgeous blue and purple hair. So I'm really happy just because I have been in a big transition and have been living alone. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's lonely. And we're having so much fun and extended sleepovers. And we're both totally big cat people. So my two kitties are like having wild parties on all night long. So I'm getting a little bit more sleep. So anyway, I'm really enjoying having one of my favorite people. And we're cooking together and really nourishing each other. And we're having a very yummy, healing, anti-inflammatory soup from the farmer's market that we're having right now that would take like an hour to tell you all the ingredients in it. So that's my happiness right now is having one of my beloveds here and having adventures.
Thank you so much for sharing, Maya. Would you like to call on who goes next?
I'm sorry to say, because I'm on the phone and I got here late, that I'm not really keeping track of it. Would you mind helping me, Bisma?
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Dorothy. We're just doing our check-in question today. And the question is, what is bringing you joy this week? Let's see. Who's ready to be called on? How about you, Pat? Would you like to share?
do it. Mine may seem a little strange, but what makes me happy this week is that I think the most important issue in the world today, affecting everybody, everywhere, is climate change. And there's a lot of focus on climate change. I went to a meeting 2 weeks ago on Friday, and there just weren't that many people. I wish that there were more there. But every time you look at the paper, there's something, well, because of Glasgow, there's something about climate change, and Greta Thunberg is out there speaking as usual. So that makes me happy because I think this is the most important thing in the world.
Thank you for that, Pat. I agree. I've been seeing a lot of things about the Embarcadero going underwater really soon.
Yeah.
And and whether or not they want to save that station, and that's kind of just the reality of rising seawater and capitalism in the day and age that we are seeing it.
Yeah.
And so thank you for sharing and uplifting that. Would you like to pick on who goes next?
Well, everybody that I see has already spoken that's in front of my nose. So I don't know who else is around.
I can help you with that.
Yeah.
What about you, Ellen? Would you like to share?
Sure, thank you. I'm Ellen in San Francisco, and I'm really glad this class is here. You're answering a lot of questions for me. I'm really happy about it. I mean, there are many things I don't like about social media, but I recognize that it might be worth me making the effort to learn how to use it. What's making me happy is the sunshine this afternoon. And I am fortunate, very, very fortunate to have a little grandson, and he makes me happy. He's very, why stand still when you can jump up and down and squeal, He's so happy. That makes me happy.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Ellen. What about you, Flor? Can you share with us what's bringing you joy?
Well,
Me gusta
I love learning. And I'm really happy to be in this workshop. Even though it's a little bit difficult for me, but I know that slowly I will get it and I will learn.
Yeah, thank you, Flor. Do you want to pick on who goes next?
Ay, ¿cómo los nombres? Ay,
Let me see if I can see names. It's hard to see the names. Next is okay.
Okay, I'll go help with you. How about you, Jose? Do you want to share with us?
Lupita, Lupita, sure, yeah.
Ay, tire. Ya lo hice, Flor. Ya compartí.
Oh, ay, Dios mío. Yo creo que está bien.
Okay, Bisma, if you can pick for me, please.
Okay. What about you, Jose? Can you hear us?
Yes,
What's bringing you joy this week?
this week. ¿Me pueden traducir o no? Oh, ¿qué decía?
Oh, wait. I can't hear the interpreted language.
I'm switching.
Oh, thank you.
I really don't do much. This is Jose. I am actually a volunteer in several programs, and that brings me joy. Nothing new, really. It's the same old thing.
Yay. All right, let's see. Would anyone else like to share before we move on?
I want to share.
Go for it, Maria.
Hi, this is Maria. Someone mentioned climate change, but I'm also happy that part of the federal Build Back Together budget was signed, but half of it we still have to work on the child care piece and other social services. But another thing that gives me joy is watching the games. And there's a game tonight, I think. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Would anyone else like to share what's bringing them joy this week?
Oh, hi, Dorma. What gives me joy is the fact I'll be completing the exercise class very soon. Within a week, I'll be graduating.
Yay!
I can.
Thank you.
I couldn't hear her.
Oh,
well, what I said, I'll be completing the exercise class.
Oh, okay.
After 5 weeks, I'll be graduating.
Oh, okay.
Next
Very
Thursday.
good.
I'm happy about that. Thank you.
Yay.
I got 2 major things off of my list this week. And one is I found a roofer that's going to put on my new roof. And then I also got a shed put together in the backyard to store some things to get them out of my house.
Wow.
So I got two major things done this week.
Big do-it-yourself energy building.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, Cora, would you like to share what's bringing you joy?
Yes, just to be alive and that my grandson is doing well in school. So I praise the Lord for that. And I strive to be joyful and accept that is coming my way. Thank you.
Thank you, Cora. What about you, Henrietta?
Yes, what's bringing me joy today is the fact that I'm able to continue on my journey in this life, and that I spoke to my 2 daughters and my 6-year-old grandson, and that brought me a great deal of joy.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome.
What about you, Esther? Are you able to connect to your audio and hear us? Oh no, it says it failed. In the meantime, Angel, do you want to share what's bringing you joy?
Being whole family, friends, and those things.
Hey, thank you. And I see Esther, are you on or able to? Yeah. What about Constance? I think that's Connie, if I'm not wrong.
Anna, A-N-A.
Anna, would you like to share?
About something that was brought joy today?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. Don't have any joy today. I've been in some legal meetings.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So, yeah. So
What about from this week? Maybe not today, but something in your
based on
future.
disability issues.
Mm.
So not yet, but the day's not over.
That's true. All right. So, I'm sorry we weren't able to share.
Hi.
Oh, yay!
Finally, I'm just so happy to be here and learning. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your kindness and patience.
Of course, thank you.
To everyone.
Yes, our little crew at the senior center. We're happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I think, let's see, I think is that everybody that went? Did Arya, did you go?
What brings joy to me? Just being here in class today makes me happy because I'm learning a lot about social media. And one thing more, another thing that makes me happy is that I'm about to complete another trip around the sun. Wow. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Maybe at the end of this call, we can sing happy birthday together. Yeah.
So it's 11/11. My birthday is 11/11.
Angel number. Wow. A miracle is walking with us. Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. This put me in a really happy mood to start talking about Facebook. But okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen again. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for showing up as your full selves today for class. So now I'm just going to run through the table of contents really quickly so you know the content we're trying to cover today. So we just did our check-in. We're going to talk about how you can reset a Facebook password, because I know some of you may have accounts that you don't know how to get back into right now. We're going to go into how to delete a Facebook account, because some of you may have multiple accounts that you accidentally created. So we'll go through how to delete them. We're going to go through how to tag someone on Facebook. So your friends that you want to see, show them something on your Facebook that you're seeing. We'll go over how you can tag them. Then we'll talk about how to create alt text, which stands for alternate text, which is how you can make your images accessible to folks who are visually impaired or blind, to make sure that when you are sharing something on Facebook, you are making all your posts accessible. And lastly, we're going to go over how to turn off geotagging, which is location-based posting services that Facebook has. So we'll walk through how to disable that to make sure that Facebook isn't tracking your location. But before we get into all of this, I just wanted to share that there is a strike happening against Facebook starting today until November 13th. I have put the petition link in the Google presentation and can send it out after class as well, in case you want to sign on. But this is a protest against Facebook, because Facebook has intentionally been spreading misinformation about COVID-19 and vaccine information that has been harming communities. And so this is a strike that is happening against Facebook. They're asking everybody to log off of Facebook and Instagram, because Facebook owns Instagram, for the next 3 days. And so I will encourage all of you to also log off of Facebook for the next 3 days if you can. And please hold off on completing assignments that are Facebook or Instagram related. We haven't learned Instagrams yet, so that's not an issue, until Saturday. And this is just to be in solidarity with the fact that one company should not have so much power over what we call information and don't. So this is just to prevent people from, like Mark Zuckerberg, from having so much power. And so this is and I'll share the link as well, but you can just go to the THEFB logout, LOGOUT.com. It's an entire website dedicated to the protest, and it'll have all the information of what their demands are and how to sign the petition too. I'll repeat it once more. It's the THEFBLOGOUT.com. The FBlogout.com.
Bisma, do you have any idea why they would do this misinformation? What is the gain?
The game is because for corporations, it's easier to sell ads to consumers than it is to speak the truth. And so unfortunately, there's an incentive under capitalism that it doesn't matter if the information is true, if something gets clicks, it's going to become viral. And so they're making money off of people who are clicking on ads, even if the information is not true. And that's just a sad reality of what happens when corporations get too much power. They care more about the money than about the truth.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is why I'm asking for us to observe this as class together. Awesome. All right. And also another change that's coming up that many people are not aware of, and actually I spoke with Elena and Heidi, our interpreters, to find this information out. But Facebook is actually changing its name. It's no longer going to be Facebook, but Meta, M-E-T-A. And soon you will start seeing this logo, the infinity symbol in blue, start to replace the Facebook icon. And this is to let you know that this is what Facebook does to make sure it remains inaccessible, is constantly changing its rules. And so this is me sharing that information so you are aware ahead of time. that this change is coming.
Mm.
All right, and so with that, those two smaller urgent announcements out of the way, we're gonna go over how to reset a password on a desktop computer. Typically, if you have logged into a device already with a Facebook account, Facebook may be able to save your login by seeing the recent logins tab. And if you click on it, it might automatically log you in. And so this might be a quick trick to get back into your account after you've lost your password or don't remember it. But in most cases, you won't have the recent login page. So what you'll have to do is actually go to the Find Your Account page on Facebook by clicking on the Forgot Account button. Once you click that, it's going to prompt you to ask for your email or phone number associated with your Facebook account. You can either enter your email address, your phone number, your full name, or your username, and then press the search button. So that's this blue button here after you type it in. After you type in an information, such as your email address or phone number, and if Facebook finds a match, so they find an account with that number or email, you can select how you want to receive your reset code. Typically, it's going to be your email that's associated with the account that will let you get that code. That means that in order to save your Facebook account, you'll need access to the email that you signed up with on Facebook. After you confirm the email code, Facebook will give you a few more steps to verify your account. So what they might do is ask you to identify your account. So put a bunch of images with names to see if you remember what your previous login, profile picture, and name were. And this is just a second check to make sure that you're not trying to hack into the account. So if you see your account in those settings, click on it and say that's my account. And if you aren't on that list, then you'll click on the bottom button that says I am not on this list, so that Facebook knows you are not a hacker, but someone who's trying to get into your own account. So after you verify this information, it might ask you again to send in a code to your email. And so once you get that code, that might include the reset link for your Facebook account. Unfortunately, if you don't have access to the phone number or email that you set up your Facebook account with, Facebook will not be able to let you access that account anymore. So unfortunately, it's a dead account and no one would have access to it. So it might just be a lost cause if you don't have access to either the email or the phone number that you signed up with. But in the event that it is a good account and you did find the email and you were able to put in the code, it's going to ask you to put that code in and press continue. And afterwards, you'll be able to choose a new password. And this one, you can use LastPass from our week 1 information and save it there so that you know where that information is. Something else, after you recover your account by changing the password, Facebook will ask you if you would like to log out of all other devices or if you want to stay logged in. I advise that you log out of all other devices in case someone else has access to your old password. And so that's why it's best to make sure you log out of other devices when you are changing your password. Are there any questions about how to change your password on Facebook? All right, hearing none, I'm going to keep going then.
Okay.
Now,
If you are logging out of Facebook and you have several devices which are synchronized, when you log out in one device, doesn't it automatically log you out in the other devices? No?
No, typically you'll actually have an option before logging out if you want to get logged out of other devices. But typically, if I'm on my phone and I log out, I'll still be logged into my web browser computer. So if I wanted to log out of all of them, I would have to go into each account that I know it's located to log out. But only when you change a password, it's going to ask you if you want to log out of all your other devices.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
I need to practice it to make sure that I know how to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'll have these slides available and I'll send it again. And you can also join me during office hours if it gets confusing so that we can do it together.
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, so these are just the instructions so you can have a sense of all the steps that go behind it. All right. So with that, we're going to move on to discuss how to delete a Facebook account. So in order to delete a Facebook account, you need to log into it first. That's the first step. Unfortunately, you are not, if you don't remember the password and can't recover the password from the previous steps, you're not going to be able to delete the account. So from your main profile picture, you're going to have to click the upside down triangle in that toolbar that I talked about before and select the settings and privacy button. After clicking on the settings and privacy, you're going to click on your Facebook information. So these are the steps to allow you to delete a Facebook account. After you click on your Facebook information, you're going to click on deactivation and deletion. After clicking on that, you're going to choose to delete your account and to continue to account deletion. So these are the 7 steps that you would have to take to delete a Facebook account. And so I'll actually walk through to the settings on Facebook to show you how to delete an account and to get to that setting. So I will stop my screen share right now of the presentation and go to facebook.com. So I'm currently logged in here and I will take the steps that I took to find how to delete my account. So I'm going to go all the way to the right to this little upside down triangle where it says account. And I'm going to settings and privacy. After, I will click on settings again. Now I will go to your Facebook information and go down and scroll to where it says deactivation and deletion and press view. Here you can either deactivate your account temporarily. That means that you're not deleting your account, you're just suspending the activity. But in order to permanently remove it, you'll have to press the delete account. And then afterwards, you'll just have to press the continue to account deletion button. I don't want to delete my Facebook, so I'm just going to press cancel. But those are the steps of how to navigate to account deletion. Okay, and so I will start the presentation again, but the 7 steps are also in this PowerPoint on how to get to it. Does anyone have any questions on how to delete a Facebook account?
Angel has a question.
Angel, what's your question?
I have a for my name, but I wanna delete 4 of my pictures on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm. So if you're asking particularly about deleting pictures, that's different from deleting an account.
My account name. I mean,
So you have 4 accounts, is that correct?
yeah, I have 4 of account, but how you delete it?
So these are the steps on how to delete an account that I just ran through. So you'll have to log into your Facebook account. You'll have to click on that little upside down triangle in the corner of your Facebook and click on the settings and privacy. So you can look at these slides and go through the different processes. And it's also now recorded in our class on what I just went over. So you'll be able to, if you follow these steps, delete a Facebook account. Does that make sense, Angel?
Yes.
We can also do it together in office hours if you would like.
I want to do office hours.
All right, so that means that you can join either Monday and Wednesday at 2:30, and we can go through how to delete a Facebook account together.
Okay.
And I see Lupita and Joy, your hands are up, so I'll have you go in that order.
Yeah, my question is I've seen all what's going on with the Congress and Facebook and your expertise. Do you think that it's better to delete the accounts and stop using Facebook? Because that changing names and all that, do you think is strange? Or do you think that they say that they hack millions and millions of accounts with Facebook? How secure can we feel now with Facebook?
I say that that's a really good question, Lupita. And I'd say that Facebook, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, if we're on or not, will continue to influence our public knowledge. And so from my perspective as a digital organizer, it's best to stay on these accounts to know what's happening while also combating with our own organizations. So supporting things like Senior and Disability Action, supporting anti-police terror projects, and other community organizations that are based in people. So all of these things like the name change are part of corporate strategy to make sure it remains inaccessible to people and to change the business models of what makes it successful so that only a few amount of people can remain successful on social media. That's the whole point of making changes suddenly so that most people don't know the rules. So that's why it's important to have trainings like this where we're talking about it and talking about its influence while understanding the changes that are happening. Thank you, Lupita, for that question. And Joy?
So under what circumstances, under what circumstances besides the change that we're going through with Facebook, would anyone delete their Facebook account? And if they, did I see that you can put a hold on it for temporarily and then come back on? So I want to know, I don't have one yet, and I'm not really sure if I'm ready to start one at this point. I'm just kind of gathering information. So can you tell us under what other circumstances that people would delete their Facebook account? And if they wanted to start another one, how would they deal with the name? Can they use the same name and etc.? So
okay, yeah, I'll go through your different questions. So reasons why a person might want to delete an account is say that they're really, really concerned about their safety and don't want any person in their life knowing their location. That might be a reason to delete your Facebook. I'm gonna mute you, Joy, because there's a lot of feedback. So that would be one reason. For instance, some of the folks here, some people accidentally create multiple accounts with different emails. And so that might be a reason to just delete and consolidate all your social information to one account. So that might be another reason someone deletes an account. One person might just be really overwhelmed from the information that they're getting on Facebook and just decide that they don't want to take part in it anymore. So those are all different sorts of reasons why someone would want to delete. So a person would suspend an account if, say, they are feeling overwhelmed, but they don't want to delete all the work that they put behind creating a friends list, creating posts, and showing their life story. So maybe if temporarily you want to suspend your account. It's also very common for college students to suspend their accounts during job searches so that no one can use any information on their social media against them during a hire. So that's also a really common reason why people suspend accounts, is to remove organizational bias from being able to search them.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, and hopefully that answered all your questions.
I'll sit with it for now. Thank you so much. It gives me an idea.
Thank you, Joy. And Maya, I see your hands up.
Sorry, I was out of the room for a second. Yeah, my question, and I've talked to you about it. I've been dealing with some threats of safety and security, and I have a lot of Facebook friends, but both because I'm on workers' compensation, and my workers' compensation attorney told me that I really need to have nothing be public, and that the opposing party is likely to search to see if they can use anything against me on Facebook in my case. And also because I'm going through, I'm dealing with violence in my family system. What I have been wanting to do is not suspend my account, but to create a secret Facebook group. And so that I could invite folks, because like you said, I think it's very overwhelming to think about rebuilding a digital life after I've been on Facebook for 13 years. And I'm a grassroots organizer, but I'm wondering your opinion on if a secret Facebook group, as opposed to a private one that's not searchable, is secure enough given what some of the safety concerns that I've talked with you about.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for raising that question. I'd say that you must really have to trust the people you're including in the secret group to ensure that they won't ever share that information out with people you don't want to see. So as long as you have a good trusting relationship with the people that are in your secret group, I don't see how that will be a problem. That information will go nowhere past the people in that group.
Okay, yeah, because I would want it to be by invitation only, and have a pretty strict protocol about who I'm talking with stuff about. So, okay, that's kind of what I wanted to do, but I feel like you know a lot more about it, and I think create at this point, so I don't really want.
I'm not sure you're yeah, I couldn't really hear what the last few sentences you shared were. I think the connection got a little cut off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said I don't think I want to create another Facebook account.
Yeah,
I think a secret account would be better here, just because it's a lot of labor, and maybe confusion for my communities. So, yeah, that sounds good. I feel like there was one other question I had, but anyway, I'll be in the class, so if I think that I'll ask later.
So if it comes again, yes, please do ask. Thank you for uplifting that, and I'm sure that was helpful to other folks who might be thinking about safety and situations where you might want to remain anonymous online. All right. And I did see that Maria had a question in the chat. Is there such a thing as merging accounts without losing data? Unfortunately, on Facebook, no. There's no way to merge accounts. That isn't a feature that they offer. All right. So with that, I am going to keep going. Oh, next, so this is going to be the last lesson before our break, is tagging on Facebook. So tagging is a special kind of link that you can create on Facebook. And when you tag someone, you basically are creating a link on their timeline. The post you tag a person with, so the person that, so the reason why you would want to tag someone is that you see a post on Facebook and you really, really think that one other person should see it. And so instead of messaging them like, hey, like, look at this post I made on Facebook, or look at this post I see on Facebook, you can simply use an @ sign and use their account name so that they can see it on their timeline. And so this is just an internal sort of notification to allow someone to see what you're seeing on your timeline. And also another way to just be like, I'm thinking about you. And this post made me think about you. And so basically the steps of it is simply, you'll have to use the and sign to start the tag, and then just start typing in their name and it'll automatically show up. So you can tag people and you can also tag Facebook pages. So for instance, if you want senior and disability organizers to see something, you can tag Senior and Disability Action's Facebook page so that one of the organizers can see what you want us to be involved in. Does anyone have a question over tagging?
Does it say tag? What do you click on? You just put the person's name and put @ or do you have to put the word tag or anything
You
like
don't have
that?
to put the word tag at all. All you have to do is press the @ sign, and then automatically, as you type the person's name and click on it, it'll become bold. Once it's bold, you know you've tagged someone.
This is Maureen. Are you saying the add, like ADD, add sign?
The @ symbol, AT. Like the @ sign.
Oh, okay. And this is different from share. Now this is
Yeah, so this is just like a quick communication between another person and you over Facebook.
okay.
Or a community page like Senior and Disability Action and you. So this is just a quick message back and forth of like, this is a post that I think is relevant to you.
And if it showed up on your Facebook, it would say someone tagged you. Is that how it works?
Yeah, and so people who are following me will be like, oh, Bisma was tagged on that. So I'll show you actually how to do it on Facebook together. But I do see Maya give me up. Would you like to say something?
Hi, you were cutting in and out. This is Joy. I just have a question. Did you say the word internal, meaning that if you get onto a Facebook, say on SDA's Facebook, and you see something that you think somebody else might look at, when you say internal, I don't know what you mean. And does that mean the people within the SDA list of people who have signed in?
Thank you for that question. Internal means people who have Facebook accounts. So this
people who have what?
Have a Facebook account.
Oh, anybody on Facebook. So in other words, I may see an announcement on Facebook's page and I go, oh, so-and-so who's not involved with SDA, because they're on Facebook, I could just simply @ and then their name, and it would just basically carbon copy, to use old terms. It would just send them a copy of the post that I saw, thinking of you, right? Like that? So internal means anybody with a Facebook, anybody in the Facebook community who's logged on to Facebook.
Yes, and also
Right.
Internal in the sense that it has to be a friend of yours that you can tag, or a page you're following. So they have to have a Facebook account, but also have to be a Facebook friend.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, great. And so I'm gonna quickly exit full screen here so I can show you how to tag on Facebook. So let's go back to Facebook. That is not Facebook. Okay, so here I am on Facebook. you are seeing my main page, my news feed on Facebook. And so now I'm just going to scroll, and I see that there is a post by Senior and Disability Action. There's one on remote participation. And I want to tag someone. I saw this and I'm like, oh, I know someone who uses the computer to go on Zoom calls. So this is important. So I'm going to write a comment and I'm going to tag someone. So I'll do the exact same thing. I'll do the ampersand, and already it's going to bring people up. So I'm going to type in Aria's name. So now she is at the top, and now it turned blue to show that it is a tag. So now all I have to do after the blue appears is press enter. And now Aria is tagged in that Facebook post. And it went bold. Did you see that? But that is how you tag someone on Facebook. So now when Aria opens her Facebook, she'll get a notification that Bisma tagged you in a post. Does that make sense? Perfect.
Bisma, at what point did you type in the ampersand?
It was the first thing I typed.
Oh, before you put in Aria's name?
Mm-hmm.
When you typed it in the comment
Yes, I pressed.
section? Okay.
That was the first
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know how to answer the question, but for instance, if someone tells you the only way, if you belong to an organization and they say, the only way that I'm going to communicate any information to you is to go on Facebook. And so is that going to be a tag, you think, or what?
So say the first part of that again.
An organization that you belong to,
Mm-hmm.
just say SDA. The only way SDA is going to communicate information to you is on Facebook. Is that going to, do they use a tag or what do they use?
So it depends on the context, because organizations can communicate in many different ways. So for instance, that might mean them asking you to follow the Senior and Disability Action page. So
oh,
yeah, so that means that basically making sure that you are signed up for notifications when they send in the information. And so that was part of a little bit of what we talked about on Monday. But if you like an organization, you can go on the side with the 3 points on the side and make sure that you're following them.
mm-hmm.
And so by making sure that you're following them, you'll get a notification, or they'll appear on your timeline when they post something. So this is if an organization is using a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, organizations may say, oh, communication will happen only through Facebook, but they'll invite you to a group. And so if they're a Facebook group, that's where they'll post notifications. And I'll show you quickly how to get to a Facebook group. So I'm going to go back to the main setting, my profile page, and I'm going to click on the icon on the side where it says Facebook and the logo. And I'm going to go down and it says my name. That's where my profile is, my friends, the pages. That's where I can see Senior and Disabilities page, and then groups. So when I click groups, it shows me the different groups I've joined. So anytime I click on any of these different groups, I can see the conversations and posts that happen there. So you'll see I'm joined in a lot of groups, the Prison Movement Solidarity, Digital Campaign Organizing, Bay Area Queer Exchange, but this is where I can see specific updates for each of these groups. So that's where I'll be able to navigate. So there's also a Senior and Disability Actions group where you can see the posts that people made. I think Freddie's the only person that's posted here right now, but that's to come. But yeah, so you can those are the two ways that an organization can ask you to communicate. Did that help, Dorothy?
Could you go back to that page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Groups, okay.
Yeah.
I see now.
So it's the main.
So I list the groups under groups.
Mm-hmm. You might have to accept a group invitation to see the notifications. So I can, yeah, so if you want to, we can trial that with the Senior and Disability Actions one. I can send that information to you and see if you get the group and the notifications. Dorothy.
Okay, well, or you said we can call between 2:30 p.m.
Yeah.
That's when you're available.
Mm-hmm. I'll be on the Zoom call. You can hop right back onto the Zoom and we can go over your questions.
So, Bismarck, you can have a list of your posts. People, is that in the group post that you have a list of the pictures and things you've already posted that relates back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you'll be able to see the history of the posts in a group as well, if that's what you're asking. So as I scroll, I'll see the older posts that were shared.
Okay.
Yeah, only Freddie shared stuff. Oh, and then Jessica did, and then I posted the community guidelines. So this is an order of time. So that was the first thing that was posted, and all these things are more recent things.
Well, I see you don't have many pictures. You just have text.
Mm-hmm.
Or what is that? Is that blogging?
Yeah, the blog, the internal blog. Mm-hmm.
So if you want to deal a better picture base, let's just go to pictures here, huh? And videos.
Say that again?
If you want to build a picture base, like more pictures on your page than text.
Yeah, I agree. I think pictures are always better because it is visually nice to look at, and it's not but yeah, pictures work a lot better at getting people to remember stuff. So pictures are better to share in posts. And so
Sorry.
We'll actually talk about how to make photos accessible on Facebook and how to make a Facebook post. But Joy, you had a question?
Yeah, quickly. You're showing us your Bisma Syed Facebook account, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since you're working for SDA, does it sometimes happen that, professionally speaking, a person can have a Facebook that's professional? So technically, could you have like a Facebook account .sda so that you don't have to show us, like you're showing us your personal account, which is also lists all your professional associations, like all these groups that you're with. So I'm just wondering, like if a person wanted to keep their personal account separate, but they're working for an organization, is it common for an organization to add you for their specific organizational Facebook account?
So you're getting at really good questions between the boundaries of professional and I'd say that it's not very common on Facebook to have multiple accounts, but it is common on Twitter and Instagram to have multiple accounts. Facebook tends to be a little bit more of a professional setting, and so often I don't put very personal views or personal things that I'm doing on Facebook because it's so work oriented. So it's a personal choice that each person has to make on professional versus personal, who they want to include in their network and not. But because I was employed as a digital organizer, that came with an understanding that I would become one of the administrators for the Facebook pages. So that's the reason why I'm okay with that, but it's a personal decision that everyone will have to make on how comfortable they feel with sharing that information out.
Okay, so if your parents and your close friends wanted to Facebook you, are they like, have you divided it up so that they, like on this Facebook account that you're showing us, when they Facebook you, does it land on a personal secret section that only you can look at? Oh.
Oh.
Well, then how do you organize that to where your closest friends, you know,
Yeah, I'll be
text,
honest.
you know, Facebook
I'm
you're here.
not really on Facebook that often, and it's just for professional development and knowing about events that are happening. But for me, I actually use Instagram for personal connections and things of that sort. So it depends on each person and your preference over social media activities. But I don't necessarily have to add people as friends who are part of groups. So I can keep that barrier between professional and in those group settings. And Joy, I'm gonna mute you. There's a lot of feedback.
Oh, sorry.
But so in those cases, you don't have to add people as friends if you're part of a Facebook group with them. But again, it's that line of walking of where you feel comfortable engaging with people. So if you're friends with people on Facebook, you might want to preserve that account overall else. So in that case, your timeline, I didn't show my timeline specifically apart from the first few posts. That might be just personal information that I don't show my coworkers. And so it only people who are friends on Facebook are able to see your entire profile page. Those who are not your friends will only see the information you choose to leave public.
Okay, so terminology. Friends to me are people you invite over to your house. That's different than Facebook friends. So when you're talking about friends per se, I put them in air quotes. So what friends are you talking about? So, you know, like, so if you friend somebody on your professional Bisma Syed page, to me, they're not your friend, really. They don't know your birth date, or you know what I mean? It's like, that's not personal. So when you friend somebody on SDA's website, they're just like a professional, like networking purpose, right?
Yeah.
But the Instagram that you're talking about is where it's more personal. So, hey, I'm gonna go to this cafe. What you doing? Come on over. That kind of stuff that you would do that on Instagram or Twitter, I guess, because Instagram is more visual,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So, or if you want to do like, if, oh, here's a cute picture of a dog at the park, you know, what you doing? Come on and let's hang out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that you would use that for Instagram. You would use Instagram. Now, do you have a cute name, or is it at Bisma Syed, so that, you know, but what's
I have a
up?
name so that it doesn't, yeah. I have a
You
name.
would use a different name. Okay. Okay. I'm going to sit with that for a while. That's really good information. I need to kind of organize, because I'm at the inception. I want to find out the broad picture first before I figure out where to put people, how to organize people, you know. All right. Thanks.
Of course. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. They were very informative, hopefully to the rest of us as well. All right, and so I just showed you how to tag, just went through questions. So now I'm gonna invite us all to take a short 5-minute bio break before we jump into some of the other points on our agenda. So you have 5 minutes. Please come back at 4:29.
Bisma? Hi,
Yes.
Bisma. I'm trying to send you a chat, a message, but I don't know how to actually, after I type it, to send it to you.
Enter. You'll have to press that enter button.
Oh, where is the enter button? On the screen or?
On your keyboard, you'll have to press return.
Oh. Well, it made a strange noise. See, can you hear it?
I did hear it.
What is?
You typed the whole message out, and then we're not. All you have to do is press return, and it's creating that sound.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh.
Well.
That's interesting. I've never heard that sound from Zoom before.
Oh, yeah, this is my Facebook, the latest Facebook, and it's very different from my old Facebook. So, you know.
Oh, are you on Facebook right now?
I am, yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Zoom chat.
No. I want to send you a, well, yeah, a Zoom chat. Yeah.
So what are you trying to do right now? Walk me through it.
It's on, I typed it. It says to Bisma privately. And I typed it out and I can see the end of it, but I can't send it. And if I do return, that's what happens.
So what are you seeing on your screen right now?
What do I see? To Bisma privately. And then I see the end of what I typed. And then I can see all the chats above.
All the chats above.
So you can't get in there if I can't send it, right?
Here, let me try sending you a private message. Hi. Did you see that?
From Bisma to me privately, hi. Yeah.
So if you click on the blue where it says my name,
Yeah.
that'll let you privately and directly message me. It might have gotten rid of your original message, but if you type something, try that. Try typing something and pressing return.
Oh. Well, nothing happens.
Oh.
So then I'm going to have to tell you, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I can send you an email. I'll send you an email, but I'm leaving the group right now. I'll send you an email, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Pat, for being here.
Thanks, Bisma.
I received my packet.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, my partner parked illegally, so he couldn't stand after he rang the doorbell, so he just put the packet on the floor.
Right. And that was good because I had an engagement anyway at the moment, but when I returned, it was here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad it got to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I will go through it and catch up on all that I missed. Now it's in 2 languages, right?
Yeah,
3.
Spanish
Yeah.
and English.
Okay. I can, yeah, I'll follow it.
Are
Yeah.
the,
Thank you very much.
Of
are the
course.
pages numbered now?
Yes.
I numbered Cora's for her.
Oh yeah, because she just mailed mine. Wasn't in the first group unless they got lost. You know, that happens with mail
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think that's what happened because I think Jose didn't get
Yeah.
it and you didn't get it, but I had to
Yeah.
re-mail it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the one with the pages number.
Well, it's the same. You can number the pages.
Yeah, if you didn't mix them up, yeah.
No, they're not mixed up.
No, if I didn't mix them up, if I did.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, whatever you have, whatever I have, we'll just go over it. You know what I'm saying? Page.
What you're saying is you're going to give me the numbers with me.
Yeah, you have yours. Can you see this?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll call you and get it together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll do it later, but that's the way we'll do it. And
okay, all
if
right.
it be any mix up, I can show you.
Okay, Bisma, you don't have to mail it to me. Cora's gonna fix it for me.
Yeah, because we're supposed to save our trees, and you have the information. It's just a matter of numbering, so that's no problem. Since mine is numbered, yours could be too. Yeah, very good.
Hola, Flor, escúchame.
¿Qué cosa?
Okay.
Que si entiendo que.
Yes, I can hear you. If I understand about how Facebook works.
Mm-hmm.
And the chat box, please. Yeah.
¿Sí?
Mm-hmm.
No lo he usado casi.
I'm just trying.
¿Qué quiere que la
Flor is
transcripción o cómo levantar la?
Flor is asking about the chat, how to use the chat box. And she's in the chat box, but she's not answering, so she's liking. I'm seeing, okay. So she can understand how to write back.
Oh, okay. So, Flor, are you on a computer or a tablet?
Tableta.
Tablet.
Okay, on a tablet, you'll have to click the 3 dots that say more.
Ya estoy en el chat.
You're
I am in the chat.
Okay, so do you see where it says 2 in the chat with the blue box that says everyone?
¿Enviar a todos o cómo?
Let me see if I can actually get slides that might help us. We'll get the chat.
Sí.
Yes. So basically,
Sí.
when you can click on the blue box that says everyone and click specific people you want to send the message to. If you leave it at everyone, the message is going to go
Ya vi todos los nombres, ya leí. Ajá.
I can see all the names, yeah.
Perfect. So then all you have to do is type your message that you want to share in the chat.
Escriba un mensaje que quiere decir en el mensaje, ahí, escriba algo lo que quiera en español, yo se lo escribo en inglés.
And then you press the return button to press the message. Did you see my chat?
She did it. Ya lo escribí.
Entonces, ¿para todos o para Biz?
To everybody or your Bisma?
You can do either one.
Ya.
Oh, hola Flor.
Entrar.
In the tablet, so she sent it.
She sent the chat.
¿Dónde? Where is it?
De vía a Bisma.
Okay. She sent it to you, Bisma.
I got it.
Isma?
Yes.
I found your on my notifications on Facebook. It says Bisma Pernsayed mentioned you in a comment, and I clicked it, and it brought me to the senior and disability action post you made, and then below that, I replied to the survey. I'd rather join the virtually through Zoom. Thanks.
Yay, thank you. You are our star people. How to tag.
That's great.
All right. Well,
that's great. Did you receive a chat from me, Bisma?
I did receive a chat from you, Cora. Thank you. I responded to you too.
Oh, okay. I got to go. Ah, great. Okay, so I understand it. If you look down to the bottom where it says 2, and you click on the person's name, and that means a direct message to whoever. And if I wanted everyone to read the message, where it says everyone, I'll just type
Yeah.
and it go to everyone. That's great.
Thank
I'm
you.
slow on the draw, but I'll get it.
You're learning so quickly. I was teaching Flor and you learned it too.
Yeah, well, that's the way I think is the better way to learn,
I agree.
because we all learn the same thing. So, and y'all can't talk at the same time, but you can listen and follow the pattern.
Yeah, this class is very interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
But I don't know how quick I'm gonna get this Facebook entangled.
That's okay. We're gonna work at everybody's cadence that feels comfortable. So, all right, I'm gonna start sharing my screens again because there's a little bit more information I want us to get through.
Okay.
So I will start sharing my screen again. Entering full screen. Perfect. Now we're going to do a fun exercise after this, but we're going to talk about how to write alt text.
How to write alt.
Alternative text is a practice to make sure that any image you share on social media can be accessible to people who are visually impaired or blind. So all this is a description of an image. So what you're seeing in an image, to make sure that if someone is using something called a screenwriter, that they'll be able to see and participate in a post you make. So here are some particular comments that might be useful when writing in alternative text. Be specific. Describe generally what you are observing. You can also start with, what type of image is it? Is it an infographic, a photograph, a selfie, a chart, or an illustration? Then you start by describing the key items in the image. You can also include text that's part of the image. Some things you do not want to include in your description will be things that assume someone's race or gender that might be part of your own bias. So those are not things you want to include in an alternative text or an image description. Those two things mean the same thing: image description and alternative text. So now I'm going to invite all of us to practice making image descriptions together. Regina, I see your hands up.
So if there are people in it, I would say a person instead of a woman or a man. If it was a child, I would say a young person or a teenage person. If it's an older person, I would say a senior person or an elder. Okay.
Perfect. That's exactly on the dot.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So I'm going to actually walk us through wanting to do this together. So right now there's an image on the screen, and I want someone to describe what they are seeing on the screen.
I can do it.
Who said that? Lupita?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I see is a big bear with a ring in the nose. Around his nose is brown, big, cute, no big teeth, and it's only his head, not the whole body.
Perfect. I would say all of those things can count in an image description. So I would say this is a photo of a brown bear staring at a camera with a serious face.
Would I say in the center of the page is or does position matter?
You can, yeah,
Okay.
as descriptive as you feel necessary.
How many, for like say an image like this, I know it's not very complicated. Is there a parameter on how many lines that text could be? So we could describe it as in detail as we feel like it, but.
Yeah, I would suggest to be as concise as possible with descriptions, and think about the fact that it's being read by someone who doesn't know what they're seeing. So I think I would keep it to probably just a sentence, and I'd say image of brown bear staring at camera, and that would be enough.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. So now here's another one. Who wants to take a stab at this image?
I'll try.
All right, Cora.
I'll try. Okay. I would say that the image is inviting us for lunch that serves fish and chips. It's a sign high on the building.
Good. Is there any other text that someone should know is there?
Not only does it serve fish and chips, you might order other foods and drinks.
Perfect.
And you can dine there, take it away.
Perfect. Yeah. Those would be all things you'd include in an image description. So I would start with, is this? It's an image of a sign. It's a black and white image of a sign with text that reads, fish and chips, takeaway, also many other foods and drinks. Let's go. Cora did exactly that. She said that this was a sign. She said exactly the text that was in it. And so that's all the information you need to put an image description together. All right. How about this? Who wants to try and say an image description?
Oh, that's Kona.
That's my cat.
Beautiful cat.
Who wants to try and say an image description?
Estoy teniendo un problema.
Okay.
Mi tableta se descargó mucho.
Just a little bit, a quick second, because my tablet is low on battery. Oh, and I cannot see the image.
Tengo que ver si me alcanza. Tengo muy poquito. Tengo muy poco.
I just have a short amount of battery.
Okay, we'll let you get the charger and then see if someone else wants to describe the image. Thank you, Flor.
I would like to describe the image.
Okay, Dharma, go for it.
Early in the morning, the Siamese cat smells grapefruit in the garden.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That was so perfect. Yes, this is a photo of a Siamese cat smelling a grapefruit.
This is Maureen. I have a question. On the last slide, because it was printed, do you have to, can they only like braille what's printed, or do you have to repeat what's, like the last sign said a takeout? Do you have to repeat that to say it, or they won't be able to tell what's on that sign unless you retype it?
So the idea is that images it can't be seen by visually impaired or blind people.
Oh, okay.
Instead, they have something called a screenwriter. So a screen reader basically scans images and tries to understand what is in an image. So our job as folks that are visually mobile is to describe the images we see so that a screen reader knows what to tell the person.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
What we're doing is basically putting a description behind an image so that someone knows what they're seeing.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Of course. And this is our final image. Maureen, would you like to try to do an image description?
Okay, I'm not sure who that is. I know she's famous, but I would say this is a blonde singer, scantily dressed on stage.
All right. So I probably wouldn't use the word scantily because that might have a bit of a connotation that's not positive.
Oh,
but
okay.
I might say something like a green bodysuit.
Okay.
But you did it. That's exactly
Okay.
it's a singer, a blonde singer. You might want to say she has a microphone on or something, but this is Britney Spears.
Oh, oh my gosh, it's Britney Spears. Oh gosh, I recognized her. I just didn't know her name.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, perfect. So all to show that anyone can write an image description. It's fairly easy. All it is describing what you see.
Okay.
All right, and so now we're going to talk about how to actually add an image description to a post on Facebook. So let's say that I want to post an image and I want to make sure that it is accessible. First, I'm going to create the post. So I'm just going to go to that write something to senior and disability action, and I'm going to click on the portrait icon. That's a picture that is two cards put against each other with a little mountain and sun. That is the portrait icon. Then you'll be able to choose any image you want to include in your post. After an image is uploaded, there is two buttons that appear at the top of the image. This is the edit button and add photos and videos. So you can add more photos, but right now, in order to create an alternative text for this image, we're gonna press the edit button. After clicking the edit button, there are 4 photo details that will come up. In photo details, you're gonna click on alternative text. It's the last setting on the photo detail. Then a small text box will appear that says custom alt text. That's where you'll be able to add your image description. And then all you have to do is press save. So in that custom alt button or text box, I would add Dharma's image description of Kona. I would say that this is a Siamese cat sniffing a grapefruit in a garden early in the morning. That's where that would go. Are there any questions on how to do an alternative text? Awesome, but that is how you create it. All it is describing an image you see and then making sure that when you upload an image, you are putting an image description in the photo. This is just to make sure that all your posts remain accessible to Facebook users. Awesome. So we are running a little low on time, so I might have to share these slides at another time with folks, but this is the section of the presentation on how to turn off geotagging. Geotagging is when posts you make on your social media have a location that someone can search. So this part of the presentation shows you how to turn off that feature so no one can see your location based on when you post. So first, in order to turn off a geotag, we're going to go through how to do it on a browser first. You're going to have to click on the settings menu and privacy in the menu drop down button. Sorry, tongue-tied there. But you're going to click on the caret key on the top right of your account and press the menu privacy button, so the settings and privacy. After clicking on settings and privacy, you're going to open the entire settings and privacy page. So you're just going to click on settings again. Now, when you're in settings, you're going to scroll down to where it says location. So click on location. Then you're going to have to edit location history. So press and turn off location history. That is all you have to do to turn off location geotagging on a browser. Now I'm going to go through the steps of how to turn off geotagging on your mobile device. So this is from the perspective of an iPhone. So you'll have to click on your device settings. After clicking on device settings, you will have to scroll down to find the Facebook app. After clicking on the Facebook app, you're going to go to the locations tab. So click on location. And after, you're gonna have to press never for allowing location access. This will make sure that no post that you make from your Facebook, from your phone, will have your location tagged on it. Are there any questions?
The location tag is automatically where you are? Is that what are you serious?
Yeah, which is why it's really important to turn it off. So you can look back at these slides. We can also talk through it in office hours to make sure that you have it turned off.
This is Maureen. Is this different than like if you were lost or something and somebody wanted to locate you? Is this different? Oh, it's different. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Bisma. This is interesting. So tagging, geotagging, is that like a GPS? So like if I'm going to use you as an example because we're looking at your Facebook. So if you decided, oh, you forgot, this is you talking, oh, I forgot to post this protest that's happening in 2 hours. I wanted to remind everybody, right? But you're about to go into the bathroom, right? So you would want to have your geotagging off, right? Because otherwise people would know where you live and I guess they wouldn't know. Yeah, I guess, we don't have to get that specific, but I'm just thinking, I don't know anymore, like people are bugging your phone or whatever. So that's an example, right? If you want to just type out a quick professional announcement that you forgot on the fly and you want to send it out quickly and you're in the middle of cooking something, you wouldn't necessarily want whoever's receiving the info to know you're at home.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever location, if you're at your boyfriend's house or no matter what, it just turns off the GPS on your device. Okay.
Yeah, it turns off the GPS for the app. So for Facebook, doesn't have access to your location anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
With all that additional information, maybe you need to go over that again.
I understand. This is a little hard to understand at first, but I assure you, it's easier to do with other people. It's easier to, if you are confused, please come to office hours and we'll literally walk through it together. But this is going to be hard because it's the first time you're hearing about it, and things like this need to be said and heard and understood a few times before it feels comfortable. So thank you for being brave and being uncomfortable with this presentation, because it is a lot to learn at once. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to move us into announcements so that we can end on time. So I'm going to share 2 announcements, and then I'll open the floor up for other folks who might have announcements, and then I'll run through the tasks for today. So the first announcement is that on Friday, we are having a protest against conservatorship outside of San Francisco General Hospital. It's going to be on 23rd and Potrero at noon. We are protesting conservatorship, which is medical incarceration, another way of slavery to the state. And it is a protest against the process of conservatorship. And it is also symbolically on the day that Britney Spears's trial is for conservatorship. That's been receiving a lot of news in the media, a lot of attention in the media. And it is symbolically at outside of San Francisco General Hospital, because that's where many people start their conservatorship journey. So I encourage you, if you can, to please come. I'll be there. I'll be live streaming the event for us to our Facebook account.
Isma, is it true that her father lost his conservatorship over her?
Yes, it's true. But there's still a little bit of fallout on who is going to be her next conservator. In my opinion, she shouldn't have a conservator.
Why does she have to at this point?
That's the thing. And that goes to what medical incarceration is, that once you're in the system, once you've been conserved once, you're expected to always have a conservator.
What?
Yeah, I know. And so that's part of what's being disputed. And so she's actually, because of that limitation, trying to counter with her own conservator that she's comfortable with. I know, we live in a very strange country that's very bad.
Well, you know, that's really something, not to know that this will be a continuous tracking system.
Yeah, it is a continuous tracking system. But that's what we're against. We're against the entire process of conservatorship from start to finish.
I have a question.
Yes.
Bismarck? Yes. Is in regards to is this in the state or the whole country?
The whole country.
Oh my God. So it's impossible to change it just under only a law, right?
That's the issue. So different states have different laws around conservatorship, but all of them still rely on medical incarceration as a practice and principle. So our stance against conservatorship is to mend laws that make it happen in the first place. And that does mean federal policy that will be attacking conservatorship there.
Bisma, can you define medical incarceration for us? Like, what does, I know like going to prison is pretty plain, but medical incarceration,
that's basically,
what is that?
Yeah, so medical incarceration means that you also become a slave of the state. However, you're confined to psych wards and medical institutions instead of prisons, but still rely on the same rejection of your independence as a person and your ability to make choices and have other folks make it. So in a psych ward, for instance, you aren't in control of the medication that is given to you. You are forced to take whatever medication the doctor decides in those.
Okay, so in other words, with this this star, what's her name? The one that was you just mentioned, Brittany. So in her case, she assigned her father to be her conservator. No? How did
be her conservator?
Say that again?
I won't get into this now because we do have more, but because she had what was called quote unquote a mental breakdown because she had to shave her head, and her dad decided to take that publicity and say he's not mentally well and able to run her life, therefore I'm conserving her.
Okay, he imposed that power without her permission.
Yeah.
And now, like, if it goes through, then he's in power forever.
He has been this whole time.
Okay.
She hasn't.
That's why that's why the incarceration phrase is there, because she is under his control. Okay, thanks.
Thank you for those questions. But this is what Mad Mob is involved in and against conservatorship as a practice. All right, and so with that, I'm going to move on to our second plug of an event. This is an event that I'm going to be part of. It's the Tenderloin Artist and Entrepreneurship Expo. It's going to be on Friday, November 19th from noon to 4 p.m. It's going to be at Bodecker Park. They mislabeled my title here, but I am a Ayurveda practitioner, so a South Asian herbalist. And so I will show my products at the event there in case anybody wants to go. So the information will be in the Google slides as well, in case you want to come see me on November 19th at this event. And with that, I'm going to stop my screen share and see if anyone else has any announcements they want to share.
Can I say something? This is about on Tuesdays, is we're gonna see again each other on Monday. We still have the Tuesdays with the Wi-Fi group, right? Dasom is gonna send us the location. But if somebody can attend, that'll be great. Please, this 12:30, and she'll give us is to be announced the location.
Yes.
So
we're
just
still
reminding
doing,
you guys.
thank you. Yes, we're still doing Action Tuesdays for the free Wi-Fi campaign. So actually next week, I believe, we're meeting on November 14th on Tuesday from 11:30 to 1 at the Senior and Disability Action Office. And we're actually doing a phone and mail blitz. So we have Ken McNeely's phone number, and we're going to flood his phone with messages for free Wi-Fi in case anybody wants to join us in the office on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right. And so with that, I'm going to quickly share the tasks for today in case folks feel compelled by what they've learned. But the homework for today is to try to post a photo on Facebook and include the alt text. So think about making an alt text and try to figure out how to add that to the image. There are slides here to help you to remember how to do that. And then bonus points is if you can tag Senior and Disability Action in your post as well. So using the @ sign and writing Senior and Disability Action. Also, I'm not sure if everybody's part of the Facebook group yet, but if you haven't joined, feel free to send me a friend request and I'll add you to our Facebook group. And so I'll type my name in the chat so that everybody has it, but it's Bisma Farzan Sayed. And if you send me a friend request, I'll be able to add you to the Facebook group.
Could you repeat the homework again? A text, an alternative text, and a photo.
So post a photo on Facebook with alternative text. And if you can, tag Senior and Disability Action. So those are the 3 things. Oh yes, thank you, Heidi. Not until Saturday. Remember, Facebook's on strike.
Okay, now.
So you've got time.
And disability action.
Yeah, so those are the 3 things. So post a photo, create an alt text for it, and tag Senior and Disability Action.
After Monday, is that it?
After Saturday.
Oh, after Saturday. Okay, well, it'll take me that long to practice. I mean, you know, read the notes. Read the notes.
Yeah,